Part 22. Last Supper. Cannibalism. 15th of the 7th, 71 C, 5 p.m. to 12 p.m. Daniel 9:20. And while I was speaking and praying and confessing my sin and the sin of my people Israel, and presenting my supplication before Jehovah my God for the holy mountain of my God. Daniel 9:21. Even while I was speaking in prayer, the man Gabriel, whom I had seen in the vision at the beginning, reached me in my utter exhaustion about the time of the evening oblation. Daniel 9:22. And he informed me and talked with me and said, Daniel, I have now come forth to give you insight with understanding. Daniel 9:23. At the beginning of your supplications, the command went forth, and I have come to tell you, for you are preciousness itself. Therefore, understand the matter and consider the vision. 15th of the 7th, 71 C, 5 p.m. Simon was taken down from the cross. He was the chosen one for sacrifice. Revelations 19:18. That you may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of generals, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of those who sit on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and slave, and small and great. Verse referred to Last Supper. Revelation 16:1. And I heard a loud voice out of the temples, saying to the 7 angels, Go out and pour out the 7 bowls of the fury of God into the earth. 7 bowls are 7 seals. Judgment was death. Execution of Jews confirmed. Revelation 16:2. And the first went and poured out his bowl into the earth. And there came to be an evil and malignant sore upon the men who have the mark of the beast and worship his image. The mark of the beast were on Jews. It is number 666. Revelation 16:3. And the second poured out his bowl into the sea, and it became blood like that of a dead man, and every living soul that was in the sea died. Blood would from dead Jews. Blood poured out on painting of sea. Revelations 18:4. And I heard another voice out of heaven, saying, Come out of her, my people, that you do not participate in her sins, and that you do not receive her plagues. Vespasian commanded Jews to stop Jewish law. It was Jews' plagues. Revelation 18:5. For her sins have accumulated up to heaven, and God has remembered her unrighteousness. Simon preached Jewish law in Rome. Leviticus 26:29. And you will eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters you will eat. Jews were slaughtered and eaten for Last Supper. Last Supper. John 6:4. Now the Passover, the feast of the Jews, was at hand. It was time to feast on Jewish flesh. Jeremiah 51:40. And I will bring them down like lambs to the slaughter, like rams and goats to be sacrificed. Jeremiah 48:15. And his chosen young men are gone down to the slaughter. Jeremiah 50:27. Let them go down to the slaughter. Woe to them, for their day has come, the time of their punishment. Ezekiel 39:19. And you shall eat fat until you are satisfied, and drink blood until you are drunk, from my sacrifice which I have sacrificed for you. Ezekiel 39:20. And you will be satisfied at my table with horses and chariots, with mighty men and with all the men of war, declares the Lord Jehovah. Genesis 15:17. And when the sun went down and it was dark, there came a smoking furnace and a torch of fire which passed between these two pieces. Jewish bodies were burnt for eating. 2 Samuel 4:12. Then David commanded his young men, and they slew them and cut off their hands and their feet and hanged them up over the pool in Hebron. The Romans hanged the Jewish bodies. Feet and hands were placed over the fire. Leviticus 1:17. Then he shall tear it open by its wings without dividing it, and the priest shall burn it on the altar and the wood, and that it is on the fire. It is a burnt offering, an offering by fire, a satisfying fragrance to Jehovah. Jewish bodies were offered as burnt offerings. Numbers 6:20. And the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before Jehovah. It is holy for the priest, together with the breast of the wave offering and thigh of the heave offering. And afterward the Nazarite may drink wine. By Jewish law, Nazarites abstained from alcohol. By Roman law, Nazarites drank alcohol. Human stew. Leviticus 26:25. And I will bring a sword on you to avenge the breaking of the covenant. Amos 4:10. I kill your young men with the sword. Ezekiel 24:3. Put on the cooking pot, put it on and pour water into it. Genesis 15:10. And he brought him all these and cut them in two in the middle and laid the half of each opposite the other. The Jews were cut in 2 parts. Ezekiel 11:3. The city is a pot and we are the meat in it. Ezekiel 11:7. The bodies you have thrown there are the meat. 2 Kings 4:38. Put on the large pot and boil stew for the sons of the prophets. 2 Kings 4:39. And one went out into the field to gather herbs, and he found a wild vine and gathered from it a lapful of wild gourds. And he came and cut them up into the pot of stew, though they did not know what they were. Micah 3:3. And who devour the flesh of my people and strip off their skin from off them and break their bones in pieces and chop them as for the pot and like meat in a cauldron. Jeremiah 1:13. I see a pot that is boiling. Genesis 25:29. When Jacob had cooked the stew, Esau came in from the field and he was famished. John was hungry. Genesis 25:30. Quick, let me have some of that red stew. I'm famished. John asked for human stew. Genesis 25:25. The first came out red. Verses referred to Jews who were of a red color, which made the stew red. Ezekiel 24:4. Gather it into its pieces, every good piece, the thigh and the shoulder. Fill it with choice bones. Jews' flesh was cut up for stew. Revelations 19:18. Come and eat the flesh of kings, generals, and strong warriors. Revelation 17:16. And shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Ezekiel 39:18. You will eat the flesh of mighty men and drink the blood. 2 Kings 4:40. And they poured out the stew for the men to eat. And while they were eating some of the stew, they cried out and said, O man of God, there is poison in the pot. And they were not able to eat it. The Jews rejected the stew. 2 Kings 4:41. And he said, then bring some flour, And he threw it into the pot and said, "Pour it out for the people that they may eat." And there was nothing harmful in the pot. The verse referred to Jews' flesh being made into stew. John 6:51. "I am the living bread which came down out of heaven. If anyone eats of this bread, he shall live forever. And the bread which I will give is my flesh, given for the life of the world." Titus told the Jews that Simon's flesh was his and was bread. 2 Kings 4:43. And his servant said, "How can I set this before 100 people?" And he said, "Give it to the people that they may eat. For thus says Jehovah, they shall eat and have some left." 2 Kings 4:44. And he set it before them, and they ate, and there was some left, according to the word of Jehovah. Genesis 27:10. "Then take the food to your father so he can eat it." Genesis 27:22. And Jacob came near to Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, "The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are Esau's hands." Genesis 27:23. And he did not recognize him, because his hands were hairy, like his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him. The arms of Simon were taken to John. Genesis 27:25. And he said, "Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's game, that I may bless you." So he brought it near to him, and he ate, and he brought him wine, and he drank. Simon's arms were eaten by John. Deuteronomy 28:21. "Until he have consumed you from off the land." Micah 3:2. "Who tear off their skin from them, and their flesh from their bones." Zephaniah 1:18. "In the fire of his jealousy, the whole earth will be consumed, for he will make a sudden end of all who live on the earth." After the Jews were killed and eaten, Vespasian burnt his painting of the earth. John 17:19. "And for their sake I sanctify myself, that they themselves also may be sanctified in truth." To eat the Jews was to free them from sin.